What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Got a couple things we're going to be doing today. I got my white car that we're going to take out of the trailer. It's already in street form. We're going to change it up a little bit. We're going to maybe head to the track today, maybe not. Got a couple things I want to check out before we, end up putting slicks on it again. Got a couple new parts in the mail that we're going to show you on the channel today, and we're going to get them put in. I suspect that they're probably old or bad at this point, as they seem like they're not working very well. Car's been going left and right, and I haven't been able to no lift shift, and I haven't been able to really maximize my car and its horsepower potential at all. And you guys all know that I like to street drive my cars. I like to race my cars, so you get interested in that, stick around. Let's get the car out of the trailer. We'll do some adjustments and maybe we get some track footage. Stick around. So we ended up actually going and getting a bunch of E85 last night, as it's like $4 a gallon. Hit that comment below, let me know how much your ethanol is and where you're at. But it measured out to like E80, E81, which isn't terrible. I don't get real crazy with the actual number. E85 is gonna work regardless if it's E80, E82, E78, E75. And what I found in my local area is Speedway is like the best distributor for E85, as I run both my white and my black car on pump gas E85. It seems to work out pretty well. Like I said, I got a couple really cool parts to show you guys to install on the car. I think you guys will enjoy it. It's kind of a maintenance thing after a couple years. We're gonna get the 18s taken off and take the Saline wing off, and it'll be pretty much ready to race, because I mean all I do is just pretty much switch wheels and turn the boost up and change the tune or whatever. So that's always fun. Oh, I also wanted to mention that I got a Mustang dyno versus dyno jet video coming up. As you guys all know that we went to Chocolate Fox and made some power on the dyno jet there. We also came right back home and went right back up on the Mustang dyno. So you guys got to be sticking around for that video soon. So.
That thing's a mean machine, brother.
What do you say?
That's a mean machine. By the way, if in case anybody wants to know, this is my son's one of his first cars.
22 years and counting.
A lot of years.
Yeah, man, we've had that a long time, haven't we, Dad?
A long time.
Yeah. All right.
It's been in some mud holes.
Mud
years ago.
We pulled it out of a mud hole.
Yeah, get that up.
Huh? All right, so we got the white car up here on the lift, and before we actually start taking anything off for racing, I wanted to go through. So this is one thing that I think is the problem with me going straight, is I think my anti-roll bar is out of setting. What happened last year is we ended up dropping this axle and messing around with the control arm bolts, if you guys remember, and I ended up flipping the anti-roll bar that way and breaking one of the joints. So we had to fix that. Looks like there's no issues really, because we're gonna go through all the bolts before we race. We usually do this when we go up for the slicks. We'll go through all the bolts, we'll clean some stuff off and look for anything that might be physically falling apart or damaged or whatever. And they're all obviously dusty, but I do have a faceplate leak. I don't know where this is coming from, but I think it's the yoke. I think the yoke is, I don't know. I know my shifter is leaking a little bit, but we're gonna check the fluid level in my faceplate and make sure it's good. So, and we just fixed our oil leak, and you can see it's dry up there, but this is all residual. So we're gonna clean this off and be happy that we fixed our last oil leak. So let me get busy here. I'm not really gonna film any of that for the most part, unless I see anything. I'm gonna go through with the wrenches and make sure everything's tight and gives my thumbs up for approval. But again, we're gonna check this faceplate first. That's a shock weight. Do we have that? Lightweight shock oil. Do we have that over here? That's a lightweight shock oil. Got a little bit left. Good used. Got some gear lube. Probably got one of those that are good. We like to keep that stuff around, but might be a little bit low, but that's our next fix, really, to be honest with you. All right, so we got under here and we released our anti-roll bar. Like I said, when we get the car seated on its own weight and I get Cousin Paul in the driver's seat, I will reset my anti-roll bar. I did want to find out if it was binding up or whatever. But I street drive this car, like I said, with an anti-roll bar, and they say you can't, but it's not really a big deal. Next move is to unhook the shocks and go through my control arm bolts to make sure they're all good. Seems to look like our oil fix, like I said, worked out pretty good. I just cleaned it up a little bit, but it was real dry on the top, so I'm hoping that's the answer that we've been looking for. But let me finish up what we're doing, and then we'll get this thing switched over to race mode and get it back in the trailer. I mean, literally all we have to do is take the wheels off, which we have right here, and take the Celine wing off. You know, everything else stays intact. That way we come home, we put it back on street tires. So got some plans for Ford takeover, man. We'll have a good time. We've been beating up on them forever. So we're gonna get the,
We beat up on a lot of stuff forever.
No doubt. We're gonna get the car down, and I gotta show you what we're actually getting. All right, so here is what we got for the white car. I'll take that one, brother. We got us a set of new shocks. Like we had just been saying, we had beat the snot out of our strange shocks. And I should be running with like Vikings, like double adjustables. But these have done so well for me at this point. My car runs, you know, 120, high 120s as for a street car. That's really good. You know, real low 130s and a 60 foot with the power level. So I think we're gonna stick with the same shock that we've been good at. So it's a pretty good, you know, a pretty good shock. You know, the other shock isn't even tight here anymore. It's like the first 3 or 4 settings just wore out. I don't know if this is the knob or whatever, but you know, these strange shocks are pretty amazing pieces. And this is the EMs, the S6000 EMs. This is like the Foxbody specific one. So we'll get these put in, and I'm not gonna really put you in a time lapse. I mean, it's just putting the shock in. We gotta take them loose anyway, so I figured I would show you what we got. Go ahead. Yep. So, just like a standard shock, just got a dampener on it with a valving in it. And you got your upper, you got your lower rubbers, which is probably kind of nice because, like I said, we've been beating on these shocks for. I don't even remember replacing these. We replaced the black cars once. And I sold the shocks to 1099 Tony, and he put them on his car and finished them off. The shocks that are on this will probably go on Dad's car because the valving will still work on 4 or 5 or whatever. So Dad's car's always getting the spare parts, and he's gonna put the sticker on it and brand it right here, you know. And then, like I said, I'm not gonna put you on a time lapse. We're just gonna put this back up in the air after we break all the lug nuts loose, and we're gonna get the shocks installed. Not a big deal. Nothing. Yeah, so nothing special here, just an easy shock mount. We checked them out and everything. Just gonna put the new one on. You know, just switch both sides. You know, like I said, the valving on this, you can see how loose the knob really is. It's not really supposed to be that loose, but then again, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad. And then the last thing we'll do is go through and tighten all the control arms. Like I said, I had a problem with that one control arm, remember, coming loose. So we're gonna check that one more time and probably double nut it, just to be safe. Better safe than sorry going 140 mile an hour plus. So right now we are actually at the point where we're actually gonna get the shocks done in the front. But what me and Cousin Paul are also gonna do is set the anti-roll bar. So we'll just put a couple cement blocks centered on the tires with the arms just enough off the car to where, for safety reasons, I can get under there, he can get in the driver's seat. I can adjust the anti-roll bar. Because you gotta have somebody sitting in the driver's seat to go ahead and adjust it. But looks all too familiar, doesn't it? Be raced up, be ready to go. Hey, we just put our wheels back on, took the wing off, just like I told you guys. But we did end up going through all the control arm bolts. I didn't bother with the time lapse or whatever. And we had put the new shocks on. We're pretty much ready to go. We got a full interior, got a full tank of gas. I'm gonna take it down the road, make sure my anti-roll bar settings are kind of like neutral or whatever. I might have to make some adjustments at the track, but that's just the way it is. But these didn't seem like they were too bad, but they could be pretty whooped for the horsepower level that this was in. So let's get this thing outside. Let's go around the block. We'll get it strapped up. All right, YouTube, that's pretty much all I got for you today. Here's a couple videos to show you some of the fixes that we had. You can see the car bouncing. This was the problem that I was actually having. And then after the fix, you can see the car in slow-mo just kind of dead hooking and going. So some of this has to do with the slick starting to kind of, you know, stick now. This has been like the 7th, 8th pass, and I told you it's going to take a little bit to stick. But again, you know, guys, this is just my street car. We're just having some fun with, you know, with the car to track. It makes some good power, and we have a lot of fun with it. Make sure you guys stick around. We were going to make the track passes in this video, but we just, instead of making the video 30 minutes long, we decided to do something a little bit different. Stick around at the end of the video. You'll give you a sneak peek of the next video coming up from this past day that we made this video with. Really cool. Going to show you how we did at the track, everything leading up to and including checking the draggy 3 times, and I think you guys are going to be pretty impressed with the result. I'm gonna get a shout out to my club members. It's the join button below. It's the guys in green on the chat and the comments and live stream. So check out that membership below. Check out that merch shelf. Check out that super thanks. And all the donations stay in the channel. Appreciate it. But outside of that, check out the sneak peek, and I will see you guys soon in the next video. Thanks.